Hello, guys. As you know, today we're talking about elimination. What we're going to do right now is take it a step further. Example 1. Given two equations, 3x plus 2y equals 12, x minus y equals 4, what we're going to try to do is find the solution, which is the point of intersection, x comma y. Solving a system of equations using elimination, there are 4 steps to follow. Step number 1. Make sure the equations have opposite x or y terms. So we're going to copy our equations 3x plus 2y equals 12, x minus y equals 4. And what we're going to try to do is make one of these terms an opposite of the other term. So we could either do this one or this one. I'm going to stick to this one because all I have to do is multiply it times 2. So I'm going to put my parentheses and put a 2 in front of it. On my top equation, I didn't have to do nothing, so all I'm going to do is move it to the side. Equation number 2. What I'm going to do is distribute the 2 to every term inside the equation. So 2 times x equals 2x. 2 times negative y equals negative 2y equals 2 times 4 equals 8. So step 1 is done. Step number 2. Add to eliminate one variable and solve for the other. What I want to do right now is add these two equations and I should eliminate one variable. I'm going to draw my line and put a plus sign in front of it. 3x plus 2x is 5x. Positive 2y minus 2y is 0 pair equals 12 plus 8 is 20. Now what I'm going to do is isolate my variable. I'm going to draw my line, and I know 5x is the same thing as multiplication, so the inverse operation will be division. So if I divide one side, I have to divide the other side. The number I'm going to divide by is the coefficient, which is 5. So if I divide one side by 5, I'm going to divide the other side by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1, which leaves the x. 20 divided by 5 is 4. So x is equal to 4. Now step 3. Plug the known variable into one equation and solve for the unknown variable. So what I'm going to do is plug in my known variable, which is x is equal to 4, into one of these equations. You could choose whichever you prefer. I'm going to use x minus y equals 4. So my known variable is x, so I'm going to use parentheses. So parentheses minus y equals 4. Inside the parentheses, I'm going to plug in a 4 because that's the known variable. Now, what I'm going to do is isolate my variable. I'm going to draw my line, and I know this is a positive 4, so the inverse operation will be minus. So 4 minus 4, and if I subtract one side by 4, I have to subtract the other side by 4. 4 minus 4 is 0 pair. Drop my negative y equals 4 minus 4 is also 0 pair, so I'm going to have a 0. I'm still not done due to the fact that the y is still not by itself. I have a negative in front of it. So what I'm going to do now is divide, but what am I going to divide by? Remember, if you do not see a number, it's always going to be 1. So I'm going to divide by negative 1 on both sides. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 is 1. Y equals 0 divided by negative 1 is 0. Step number 4, check your solution. What I'm going to do now is substitute my solution into both equations and make sure they both come out true. And I know my solution is 4 comma 0 because it tells me x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 0. So I'm going to use parentheses on my known variables, which should be x and y. So my first equation is 3 parentheses plus 2 parentheses equals 12. Inside the first parentheses, I'm going to plug in a 4 because x goes there. Inside the second parentheses, I'm going to plug in a 0 because I know that's y. All I'm going to do now is simplify. 3 times 4 is 12. plus 2 times 0 is 0 equals 12. Now I know 12 plus 0 is equal to 12, so that's true. Equation number 2, parentheses minus parentheses equals 4. The first parentheses, I'm going to plug in a 4 because that's my x value. In the second one, I'm going to plug in a 0 because that's the y value. 4 minus 0 is equal to 4. So that's true. Now go ahead and do the next problem using elimination. Make sure you write all your notes on a piece of paper.